Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Great White Northerner here, and we are on episode 3 of our Canadian small cent book filler hunt. So as you can see, we've got two books here that we're trying to fill. They run from 1920 to 2012 when the Canadian pennies stopped circulating, and we are trying to find them all. So we got a good start. I'm going to go through that in a minute. And we've also got a couple really nice finds. So I just thought I'd remind you of some of these from the earlier episodes. We found a US 1947P FS101 DDO. And we also found one of the holy grails of Canadian modern pennies, which is this 2006 No P magnetic. So this is definitely one to watch for. If you're searching pennies, you better make sure you got a magnet in your hand, because there are some very valuable pennies that are either magnetic or not magnetic. You want to find out which ones are the ones to be looking for. This is one of them for sure. So probably in the state that this is in, and you can see it is in excellent condition, it's at least a $50 coin, maybe even more. So that was an awesome find, and that was in the last episode, so please check that out. I'll throw the link up in the corner here, and remember to like and subscribe. We're going to get right into it here in a sec. I'll be right back.
Good time is a good life. What you mean when you say you a new height? What you mean when you play like all night? Nightlife is a highlight. I'm a fly guy, this is skyline. I don't got the time for my problems. I got the time to dissolve them. Music is my oxygen, I'm breathing, no stopping. You remember my oxygen, the music when it's dropping. Some of these vibes provided in these lines. I am to design the rhyme, check on my mind. Music be scribed, I got ahead of my time. Deep prescribed, cause I feed it full of lines. Money ain't nothing, you turn it into something. But something for the money make you look real funny. Put my own name in discussion, I'm a hustler. Working real hard to show you that I'm coming. Let me tell you that I'm going.
All right, so we're ready to go here, and this is book number 2. So this is from 1989 up until 2012. You can see I've added in some of the varieties here in the later years and done a little bit of editing to the book, so you can check out all the information in the original video or the first video. There are a few varieties that are definitely missing from this book. The 2006 has really 6 different varieties, and they've only got 2 in the book here. But anyway, that's what we'll be hunting for to complete this book. And that 2006P non-magnetic, of course, is not really in here. But we will find a regular 2006P for that spot. You can see what we're missing. We are actually missing 6 different coins. 6 coins from this series, or from this book. So there's 30 coins in here, and there are 36 total slots in the book. So, and we got some pretty nice condition ones as well. So we got a good start there. I'm hoping to improve on some of those. And then on the second book, or actually the first book, this is the second book. The first book, we are at 56 coins out of a total of 74 slots. So you can see, again, we've got some really nice coins in the modern years, just missing the 1985 pointed 5. It is a key date or a key variety that we're looking for, so keep our eyes out for that. And then also the 53 shoulder fold is another variety we'll also be looking for, and is also pretty hard to find. And these are all, older coins. These are not common to run across, so we could be looking for these for a while. But in the meantime, we're going to look for those varieties, and we'll see if we can do some upgrading. So, all right, let's get into this box. We have a full box here. Looks like more modern coins that I see on the ends. So we might be able to do some upgrading. Maybe we won't be getting as much of the older coins, but let's see what we get. I'll start in the corner here. We'll grab this first roll, and I'll bring you in when I find something. Roll 5, and we have another find. As you can see here, we have a 1944 King George VI. Beautiful old coin there. Always nice to find these. Set that up as a find, whether it'll fill a spot in the book. And right behind it is another young head. So let's take a look at what that is. Just a 1964. There's something like 500 million of these that were minted. So check that for the hanging variety. And a couple of the other... You're looking for a dot over the 1 here. Very rare. I've got one that I found, and it's not really a recognized variety, but now there's an extra spine that you're also supposed to look for. I think that is a gouge, though. Huh. I don't know if that's post-mint damage. Kind of looks like post-mint damage, but that's exactly what you're looking for. Let me just pull up the page so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is the Coins in Canada website, and you can see what I'm speaking of here. The 1964 extra spine variety has a little piece of metal, we'll call it a cud or a die clash, that is in between the two forks in that branch there. And the interesting thing is this other, the one I just found, has something similar. I've not found this variety before. I'm not sure if that's what we've got. I think that's a gouge, not a raised portion of the coin. But I'm going to set this aside anyway. We'll count it as a find for now, and who knows? Maybe I'll get a chance to take a closer look at that in the future. So, all right, moving on to the rest. Roll 8, and we have another find. We have found in 1939 King George VI penny. It is not one we need. We do have one already, and I don't think it's going to upgrade. It's pretty brown, but it's a nice shape actually for 1939. So I'll set that aside as a find, and on to the next. Roll 10, and as you can see, I've already got rid of the rest of the coins. All I've got left are the modern ones. So as I've said before, my process is I put them all in a pile, run a magnet over them, and then this is the non-magnetic pile, and this is the magnetic pile over here. And in our non-magnetic pile is a 2009. So 2009 non-magnetic is one of the varieties that you're looking for. It is one of the more common ones that you can find in terms of the non-magnetic versus magnetic. But it is still relatively difficult to find. I maybe have found maybe 10 or 12 of them going through, probably 100,000 pennies this year. So yeah, it's nice to get. We have one in the book already, and so anyway, I will set it up here as a variety, and let's just take a quick look in the magnetic pile. These all look like the ones that are supposed to be in here. 7s, 8s, 9s, there's a 6, but it has the Canadian mint mark on it, or RCM mint mark on it. And these are, okay, that's another 2006, but with the RCM mint mark on it. So what we're looking for is magnetic, either P or no mint mark in the magnetic pile for the 2006. Just want to clarify quickly. So the 2006 no mint mark magnetic is one of the more valuable ones. 2006 P of any magnetic composition is actually pretty hard to find. I found very, very few of them over the last 100,000 or so pennies that I've gone through. So I am looking for any of them. We need one for the book, a 2006P, and of course the most valuable from the 2006 would be the 2006P non-magnetic. Roll 18, and we finally got an interesting roll. I just dumped this one out, and you can see we got a little bit older coins in here, definitely 60s and 70s and possibly earlier, and I see right here, this I believe is a King George, yeah. King George VI, 1944, which I think we have one already, yeah. And so that will be the second for that, and then got a few others in here, so let's just take a quick look. 69D, 67. Just going to skim through here, look for anything that looks a little bit older or some wheat cents. Some 66s. Oh, there's another King George. 1947. And one right behind it. A little rough shape, unfortunately, but 1943. So we don't have, or we probably have that in the book, I'm sure, but hadn't found one of those yet. Let's see if we can find any other older ones in here. Oh, there we go, 1939. Also King George VI. And that's it. All right, well, that's a pretty good roll. Same roll, and I was just pulling all the Canadian out, and I found two more finds, actually. So this one, as you can see, that's why I missed it. That's also King George VI, effigy on the obverse. Let's see if we can find a date on here. Looks like 1943, and that's a beauty. Look at that. All right, set that up with the others, and then we also found a wheat cent. I missed that. Again, kind of grungy looking, so that's why I missed it. What do we got here? Yeah, it's 1944. That's all right, I'll take that. Next roll, and we've got another good one, so there must be a bunch of them there all together, so let's just dig through. We'll try and find the really good stuff, and then I'll go back through afterwards. So looks like, yeah, 1941, 1942 right behind it, 1948. And there's a wheat cent. Looks like, is that 1930? 30 something. Let me put that up on the microscope here. My fingers are there. Oh, 1935. Well, that's our oldest penny altogether, actually, and it's a wheat cent, so awesome. Another King George in behind there, so 1941, another 1943, so we got a whole roll of good stuff. Looks like another wheat cent here. 1942D. Another 1947. So this one has the maple leaf, whereas the other one was just a plain 1947, so that's cool. You can look for the pointed version versus the blunt. They're kind of hard to tell, especially when the coins are worn, but let's see what we can see here. And that'll be a pointed one, I'm pretty sure. Pointed 1947 with the maple leaf. And let's see what else we got here. Some newer ones I'll have to check. There's a 1985 and a 1985. There's 63 young head there. Not even going to bother checking that one for the pointed 5. Wouldn't be worth anything if I found it anyway. Another King George VI. Looks like 1939. Yeah. Awesome. And we got a wheat cent right in behind there. Looks like 1950s. And get it to focus. 1957D, I think that's what that is. And is that it? Young head, 1964. All right, awesome. I'll go through the rest of these. I'll bring in if I find anything else. Roll 25, and we're halfway through the box, and we've got another oldie. We got a 1941 King George VI there. Nice and brown. Probably is not going to improve what's in the book, but we're setting that one aside for sure. Roll 25, and we're halfway through the box, and we got another oldie. A 1941 King George VI there, so that's an awesome little find. And as you can see, I'm collecting a few here that look like they could be upgraders for the book, so we'll go through those at the end. And then, of course, this is my pile so far of some of the finds I've found. So I didn't bring you in on everything. There's a bunch of the young heads in here, so didn't bring you in on most of those. But 1941, that's our third one. 29 rolls in, and we're back in the same section. I think the other two rolls that I found were right here. So this one is more of the same. So we've got another roll that's got a bunch of older coins in it. They're all pretty dirty as well, but let's just dig through here and see what we find. There's King George, 1947 maple leaf. 63s. 1956, that'll be a wheat penny. Also in pretty rough shape. Another wheat penny. 1949, I think that says. There we go. And 1944S. Again, I will go back and check these for errors after the fact, so make sure I don't miss anything. Some random 2009 in the middle there. Wonder if that's magnetic or not. Let's just see. It is. All right. Oh, all right. 56, another wheat cent. 1942 King George. There's a young head, 64. Another King George, 1952. It's the last year of the King George VI. And then we get a couple of young heads, which come right after that, 63 and a 65. I'll check the 65 for the pointed 5. It is not. And 1950. King George VI. All right, another productive roll. Nothing for the book, really. These ones are all in pretty rough shape, but happy to find them. Next roll, and more of the same. So it looks like Grandpa's old change pile that he, I don't know, dug out of some, I don't know where, but these are all pretty rough shape. Take them anyway, though. Looks like a 1947 maple leaf. Lots of 70s stuff here. Young Head, 1963. Oh, there's a 44. These are a little bit lower mintage, so it's nice to find these for sure. 43. And what? 64. Another King George, 1946. Another one, 45 and a 51 and a 1940. Good haul of old coins here, 47. Another one, 1946. 1952. 1948. There we go. Another good haul. Roll 21, and I had to bring you in for this one. We just found an American dime. We're up 9 cents plus the exchange. Cha-ching. Same roll, and we've got our first foreign, I think. Yeah, we haven't got any other foreign so far today. This, I'm going to guess, is Latvia. 1992. 5, whatever their denominations are. Whoops. Centimi? I'm going to assume that's Latvia. But anyway, first foreign, we'll shove that up there. Roll 26, and I don't usually edge check my pennies, but I just happened to on this one, and look what I see. We got another dime in here. This one looks like it might be Canadian. Yeah. And it is it's just a regular 69, small date. Doesn't have the large date on it, but that's fine. That's another dime. We're up. Roll 38, and we've got at least 2 more in this roll. So I just dumped this out, and you can see there's a King George head right there. So let's see what we got. 1941. It's a nice shape too. Pretty brown, but nice to get that one. And then I saw down here is a wheat penny right here. So there might be more stuff in here, but those are the 2 that I saw. And it's a 1942. Well, we're back around to this side of the box again. That's roll 39, and we have another one of these rolls. So let's dig through and see what we can find. I know I see this might be a wheat cent right here. Looks like 1942. Wheat penny, and then there's King George I saw right there. Another 1942, only a Canadian. And what else we got here? Another King George, 1947, maple leaf. Another King George, 1941. Wheat cent, 1956D. Bird penny, as many call it. That's their Centennial penny from 1967. And that's it. Roll 39, and just the end of this roll here, and we have another find. This is another 2009 non-magnetic. So as you can see here, 2009. I don't know if I don't have any magnetic 2009s, but that is definitely a variety, and it is the second one we found. So I'll just stick that up with the other one. Roll 40, and it's another one of those rolls. So I've already gone through it, and you can see those are the ones I pulled out. So 346, a 41, 45, 51, and a 52 from the King George VI, and we also got a 1959 and a 1951 wheat penny. Almost to the end. We got 4 more rolls to go. We're on roll 45, about halfway through this roll. We've got another King George. Let's see what we get. 1948. Roll 49, and it's this same row. It's almost like this entire row was all these same rolls of old copper. So let's just take a quick look together. Oh, we got a wheat cent right there. And we got 1941 right behind it. So 1944 wheat cent. We got 1941 Georgie, another Georgie, 1950, 1957, 1952. 1955 wheat cent, and there's another King George. 1940, 1943, and a 1944. 76 is just while we're going by it here. 76s, you can look for a rotated die. There are, many of them are rotated at least a little bit. This one here, oh, actually might be a bit of a rotation on that one. I'll come back and take a look at that one after. Another King George, another King George, another wheat cent, 1936. So that's a good haul out of this bunch of coin. And that's about it. All right, let me take a look at this 76 a little closer, and I will be right back. All right, so I took another look at this, and it's not rotated. What I do actually, just so you can see, because it can be a little tough sometimes to see these rotations. So what I do is I just grab a flip 2x2, and I'll throw it in the flip. See if I can do this one-handed here. And I'll try and make sure that it's nice and straight. And then it's just easier to flip it and make sure that you're still level when you flip it. So actually I don't have it quite straight, so it's gonna be off just a little bit probably. Sure enough, yeah. But not enough, so that's probably more my not putting it in straight. But if we do it that way, that should tell us a little better. And then you can flip it over and you can see it. Yeah, like it's got a small rotation, but most of them do actually. The 76s almost all have a little bit of a rotation to the left, counterclockwise, but you're looking for something obviously a little bit more pronounced than that, so that's fine. We're not worried about that one, and that's it. But yeah, we got a nice little haul of old copper there. All right, so we killed this box. Box 3's down, and we had a pretty good hunt. We had quite a bit of nice stuff in the older coins. The problem is that, well, let me say that again. We actually had a lot of older coins, but I wouldn't say any of them were particularly nice. So every one of those rolls that these came out of, and pretty much all of them, or as you saw, most of them came out of just a few rolls. They were pretty grungy. Every penny in there was in pretty bad shape. So we've got some older coins, but they're just, none of them are in great shape. I don't think any of these are going to actually replace what I've got in my book, other than maybe this 1956. So I will check it against the book, see how it does. I do have some upgraders here, but I don't believe we had any hole fillers. So I will go through, check all this stuff, and let you know what we've managed to put in the book and how many we've got to still hunt afterwards. I did check all of the older ones for their varieties. The only one that was in there is the 63, which again is pretty common to find, the hanging 3. So all of the young heads from 53 to 64 all have an opportunity to get the hanging 3 or hanging variation on it, which is just a die clash on the coin, and you can see it right there. That is the hanging 3. Just get the light to hit it right. And there a second ago, you can see it there. Anyway, so that's just right there. It's a little bit of an indentation in the coin. Looks like the 3 is hanging off of something. So we got one of those. We got lots of those. I have a couple rolls probably full of them. And yeah, that's it. So we got a nice 1977. I'll check that as well. And I will bring you back in once I've checked my book. Well, we've gone through everything, and we have 13 upgraders. And we have one addition. So the 2004P, I'd set it aside because it was a nicer one that I thought was going to replace this one, forgetting that there was actually a 2004 no P and one with a P mint mark. So as it turned out, the one I'd set aside is actually a 2004P. So we actually have one hole filler out of all that and a bunch of upgrades. So the 2006 is just slightly better. Some of these you can see a little bit better luster here. And the 2003, there's 3 different 2003, so we've improved all 3 of them. This 1994, a little bit nicer. And so all the way through, I just managed to upgrade the book a little bit in quite a few spots. That 77 is pretty close. I may or may not swap that one in. This 77 on top is just a little bit better, but I'm not sure it's worth trying to take that other one out. But anyway, that is that's the books. So we are now at, or the books, we are now at 87. We have found out of 110 between the 2 books. So not too bad. Happy that we're at this point. And then we got a couple finds here as well. So we got 2 of the 2009 no Ps, or sorry, non-magnetic. So we have one in the book already over here. And we've got 2 more out of our finds today. We've got that 1963 hanging 3. Got a couple dimes, so we're up there. And we got our foreign coin. And then this 1964 that had, I think it might possibly be the extra branch variety, but it was really hard to tell whether that was actually postman damage or whether that was actually the cud or the die clash that we're supposed to look for. And there's the first one I found that even came close to looking like that, so kind of cool if it is, but I do think it might just be postman damage. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for coming along and watching, guys. I am out of boxes at the moment, but I'm sure I'll grab some more, and I will bring you in as soon as I find another one for episode 4, and we'll see how much more we can get. If you guys are enjoying this series, please remember to like and subscribe. I do really appreciate that. You guys all have a great day, and take care.